Believe it or not, we have more big indictment news this evening. It involves a special prosecutor and an attempt to overturn the results of the 2020 election. But I am not talking about Jack Smith. I am talking about Michigan. Last night on a conservative podcast, a lawyer known for pushing the big lie, a woman named Stephanie Lambert, she claimed that she has been indicted. Lambert was part of a group of Trump allies who, after the 2020 election, allegedly went around Michigan conning 3 different counties into handing over a total of 5 voting machines. They then allegedly took those machines to hotel rooms and Airbnbs, where they allegedly broke into them, the machines, and ran what they believed to be forensic tests. They were looking for evidence that somehow these voting machines had thrown the election to Joe Biden. Now, there are a ton of pretty wild parts to the story, like how the reason this investigation is being handled by a special prosecutor in the first place is because one of the suspects in this case is a man named Matt DePerno, who last year was the Republican nominee for the Attorney General of Michigan. Or how 2 of the other suspects are a former state lawmaker and a literal sheriff, both of whom allegedly used their former positions to give this whole scheme an air of credibility. But the part that I think is important tonight is that of the 9 people involved in this alleged scheme in Michigan, 5 of them were also involved in another scheme in a different state. The names you might remember from these 9 people are Jeffrey Lindbergh and Doug Logan. Both of them consider themselves forensic tech experts. You might remember Logan as the CEO of the now defunct Cyber Ninjas group that caused all that chaos down in Arizona. And as it turns out, Lindbergh and Logan are 2 of the guys who were caught on surveillance footage allegedly repeatedly breaching the voting equipment in Coffee County, Georgia, in January of 2021. And that alleged breach is one of the focuses of Fulton County DA Fani Willis and her investigation into Trump's attempt to overturn the election in the state of Georgia. So Jeffrey Lindbergh and Doug Logan were busy guys, very, very busy. Trump attorneys Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani were the ones to allegedly coordinate all of this breaching. They used 5 of the members of the Michigan plot to do some more voting machine tests down in Georgia. And the data that these guys got from the alleged breach of this voting equipment in Georgia, that data was ultimately sent to none other than Stephanie Lambert, that lawyer who now claims that she has been indicted in the state of Michigan. So I know everyone is waiting with bated breath, me included, for a charging decision from Jack Smith, but don't sleep on the states. Michigan and Georgia are busy right now.